Really? Is it back? I can't see that it's back. It shows that I'm still offline. Dude, what the hell is going on now? Come on, man. Oh, this annoys me so much. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell's going on with the internet right now. Blizz hacking the stream. Quick, stop him. The bitch at your ISP today, but I don't know if it is my ISP because my internet isn't going down. It's literally just the stream that's dropping. My internet is going. It's Twitch that just stops working. So I don't think this is my internet. I think this is Twitch being fucking Twitch.
WoW is our cash cow. We really need to make sure it's okay. Cinematic team go brr. I don't know, maybe.
Oh yeah, WoW mobile as well, yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, of course.
They'll probably do a full cinematic.
What will the next cinematic be? Like, those CGI cinematics are very expensive to make. Very expensive to make. They're gonna have to pull out all of the fucking stops. Like, they're gonna have to make it so large that people completely forget the last two expansions. That's a tall order for a cinematic team. I don't care how good your cinematic teams are.
For that to really push it hard.
I mean, they did for Diablo Immortal.
Bobby's new wallet.
Yeah, we cinematic for Diablo Immortal.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, apparently this was one of the more sudden and hasty reworks in WoW's history. Now, reworks are very common in games, by the way. That's just something that's worth saying, and it's not really a black mark. It's a very common thing.
It's a black mark if it results in a product that's not good.
Yes.
But if it's just, hey, we've reworked this because it was a bad idea. It's like Diablo 4 is probably a case of that where the ideas they tried were probably just not going to work out so well. So they went, we'll get back to it.
Maybe.
Sometimes the only way to know that is to try, right? Anyway, so many scenes had dialogue, apparently, written with either no knowledge of who would be in the scene or, you know, where or why it was taking place. So everything was super vague and non-committal, especially with the character development being cut. And I've got to say...
feels like it.
I remember it's one of the stories that Kevin, who's writer on our games team, has. It was about somebody they know, like, taking the red pill on Joss Whedon content. Where I just, like, you know, read out a few lines and just said, so which character do you think said these lines? And then suddenly you realize that every single Joss Whedon character it's like, they're different technically, but any of them could have any of their lines.
Yeah, because they don't have a voice or anything.
And that's the weird thing about some of these Shadowlands characters. Like when you just have Bane going for the Shadowlands, they're like, this is not what? So I just have felt that.
Yeah, but I mean, I've said this so many times before
really,
already.
Like, flat.
I mean, we spoke about this so many times before. I feel like I'm listening to things we speak about every single day almost on this stream, which is exactly that. There's no dialogue in World of Warcraft. There's one-liners. That's it. Every character has a collection of one-liners that they're going to throw out that's meant to be really cool and edgy and sort of get everyone riled up. But there's no dialogue. There's no actual conversations that happen.
That and kind of embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I wonder, you know, if
and
it's
dialogue
like
is
the stuff
important
that
because
would've
it's
made
what
those
gives
lands
flavor
just got cut.
to scenes. Is dialogue.
There's no vision for it whatsoever.
Yeah, so from the initial reception to now, Shadowlands has been considered a wash, like Warlords of Draenor. We were just told to power through it, get over with it as soon as possible while working on 10.0 at the same time. I think that is whether this leak is true or false. I think that is the case.
Yeah, that's the Warlords Legion tactic, and it worked for them then. So
yes, because look, there's not 3 major content patches. This will have 1 tier less than BFA.
This is the perfect example of WoD. Shadowlands is what WoD. The same thing that happened to WoD is happening to Shadowlands. They got to a point where they realized, well, this isn't working. Players aren't really responding to it. So stop really putting that much effort into it. Let's just start full flesh, like, working on the new expansion. at least this time around, they are making concessions. They're giving people stuff to do to keep them busy until they get 10.0, which is we obviously didn't get with WoD. In WoD, they basically just said, well, fuck you. You can run around in your garrison and do nothing because we're working on the next expansion. At least now they are sort of leaving a small team to update the game and actually give people stuff to do in the game. So that's at least good.
And BFA itself was a troubled expansion. So even with the troubles of BFA,
Ethan
they were able to
very
do
true.
3 full content patches.
Yep.
Through additional raid tiers beyond Uldir. Yeah. So when's the last time something like that happened? It was WoD. So I think that this is a very reasonable thing, leak or not. And if I was writing a leak that was fake, I would write that because it seems so plausible.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, also, I think this is a thing we see quite a bit in kind of AAA gaming at the minute, where a lot of it is just project fail. Oh, quick new project, because a lot of it's from the marketing perspective.
No 10.0 until next year. They just announced one with. I did see that, Bosmer. I didn't see the announcement that there's no 10.0 until next year. But I did see the announcement for the new Season 4 stuff.
Run or GG Go Next is the kind of approach that like EA have been doing loads as well. And I feel like Blizzard, they're not doing that with
Look, it's a massive gamble. You have to understand. It is a huge gamble. If you just stop making content for the current expansion, you're basically putting all of your eggs into the next basket. Because you're effectively saying we're okay with losing a bunch of players now. We will get them back with the next basket. In Shadowlands, it backfired so well. Because they were hoping that Shadowlands was going to get people back. It didn't. Now they're doing it again. They're again saying, you know what, fuck them. We'll work on the next expansion. That's the one that's going to get people back. What if that one fails as well? Are they finally going to learn eventually that make the one that you're working on now good? Or are they just going to keep doing this? Every expansion that doesn't work, they just move on to the next one. Screw this one, move on to the next one. The gym isn't going at the moment, LBX. Since my injury, I've had to, but hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to go to the gym again tomorrow.
Overwatch. Maybe they are by making it Overwatch 2, but you know what I mean. It's that thing of this is definitely like the strategic move that executives tend to make.
Yeah, we just need more systems.
This isn't going anywhere.
That's going to fix everything.
Yeah, pretty much. So interesting stuff to continue then. Mm-hmm. Even without the scandals, this has been murder on morale, where there are so many points we want to fix / develop more before shipping it. But we are told the current engagement metrics make it a waste of time and resources are better spent working on 10.0 instead. Yeah. Now, this, again, is something that, even if this is a fake leak, it totally makes sense to me because there are so many missed opportunities in this expansion. And also, right, if we're going to be very, brutally honest with ourselves, and if you're to, using empathy and compassion, place yourself into that key decision maker who is looking at, who's in the middle of an expansion that is troubled, knows fully how much.
Well, we're going to cover that in a second.
And you're like, okay, the only way that I can have a
I believe
team
this,
still working
by the
in
way.
this game,
I believe everything in
the
this
next
leak so far
is truly great and wins them back. I have to cut this scope, and we need to make sure 10.0 is good, because if we keep on polishing this up, that's fine, but we've already lost people. You look at the video comments, you look at the tweets, it's like it actually doesn't even matter. And
Jamal, and what we're talking about is the content for Shadowlands is done. Yes, they're doing this Season 4 update, which is at least holdover content, so it's keeping players a little bit busy until the next one. But if you look at it, it's minor stuff. It's not major new types of content. Now, we'll have to wait and see how much is... Because remember, 925 can also be treated as a pre-patch for 10.0. In which case, yes, they'll put a lot of content into it, but we'll have to see how that content plays out. Because if it's just another sort of rinse-repeat pre-patch-esque style patch where you get a bunch of shit to do every single day and then you wait for a couple of hours and you do it all again, Is that really new content, or is it just basically giving you content that's going to continuously flow over, you know? CCS, how you doing, brother?
In some ways, how good 9.2 is or is not
Yeah.
to so many people.
Shadowlands had a
is
crap
dead,
ton of
potentially.
content that was cut.
Yeah. It's like, how many times I mean, even in our content, we've talked about Zereth Mortis being our favorite patch zone in a long, long time.
I love it.
We're enjoying the raid. All of this stuff, you know, we're definitely not as happy as some other people online, but like, we are far happier with this patch than we were with 9.1.
Yeah, no,
And
9.1 genuinely killed the game for me. Like,
Yeah. Oh, 9.1 did so much damage. Which, again, if everything in this thingy is true, that makes sense for 9.1, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
But
does.
there's so many people. It's like, regardless of what I'd say about Zereth Mortis or any of the...
Moon, how you doing? Thanks for the first time chat. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Even said they had to cut content because of COVID and would instead focus on the next X-Pack. They're also coming changes to Stormwind near the stockade. They are not done yet. Yeah, but Jamalman again. Let's see what those changes are before we start going, they're not done yet. Look, they're forced to make content now. They're going to release 10.0 next year. So if there's zero content in Shadowlands whatsoever, World of Warcraft dies. Simple fact. Fact. If there is no new content for the rest of Shadowlands, World of Warcraft is dead. It dies, it's the end, there is no 10.0. So they are forced to make at least some content for 9.25 to hopefully keep people busy until 10.0 is ready. Because they're announcing 10.0 in April, the 19th, I believe. And then it's only launching next year. That's a year that players are going to have no new content. That's a long time with games breathing down your neck. How long will people last with no new content before they go, you know what, I wasn't going to try Final Fantasy XIV, but I may as well. I wasn't going to try ESO, but I may as well. So this is not the content that we're talking about. You're going on about, oh, they're adding like ghoul fights and undead or scourge fights in Silvermoon, and they're making a couple of changes in Stormwind. That's not what we're talking about when we say they gave up on Shadowlands development for development in the next expansion. Because the things that there's probably going to be can be done by a very small team that is simply meant to bring a bit of content to the player base. We're talking about actual content as in patches that is designed with story, that is designed with dungeons and raids and stuff that people can engage in, not content that is meant to be busy work. A good example of this would be I currently release between 2 and 3 videos a week on my main channel. That is the video schedule for the main channel. But we like to have videos on the channel every single day. I don't like having days where I don't upload videos. So that is why every second day on the channel, you get a Q&A video. One of the clips from the Q&A stream. It's called holdover content. It's so that there is content every single day on the channel for people to watch, right? But it's not the main content. It's not the videos that I script and the videos that we edit and we make sure that they're up to scruff and that they're good. It's meant to just be filler content. Now, filler content does not mean that they didn't give up. It just means that they at least give people something to do, basically hoping to God that people don't quit the game. The Disco option, thanks for the 1 sub, did really appreciate it. 3 months in a row. Thank you.
This stuff, it's like, no, 10.0 or bust. So it's like, if that's going to be the default response, which, by the way, so that's a fair response to have.
Ariana
because you have been
Gandhi, I love that name.
And-
Thank you so much. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for the follow. Thank you. That is such a cool name, Ariana Gandhi. Moon to Christ, you can put the Pine video in Discord in the content suggestions panel, and we'll react to it if there is time. But we have a lot that needs to be covered tonight because there's still like a shit ton of leaks apparently. data mines and stuff that's going on.
Asked, and you haven't just been burnt 1 month. You've been burnt while they've tried to put you into a 6-month sub that you don't, we really don't feel like they're delivering good value on.
But otherwise, we
of course,
could react
value
to
is
it
in the
tomorrow.
eyes of the purchaser or whatever.
Dude, Story, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Thank you,
I
thank
think
you, thank
we can
you.
all see how there is a logic to cutting a patch and making the next expansion really good.
Yeah, that's the
Makes
correct
sense.
decision, but it's painful.
It's
like
dangerous.
The correct
I would say.
thing to do, like the hyper ultimate correct thing to do, would be spend all the money they have, get their team, like, divert a bunch of resources into it and make Shadowlands good and work on 10.0. But that's not exactly realistic.
And I guess this is the sort of thing that, maybe me and you have more of an appreciation of now that we have. I mean, we have scaled a team very slowly.
Thanks for the content. Been watching your YouTube channels. Big fan of your work. Dude Story, thank you very much for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. And I'm so glad for everyone that is enjoying the content. It is my absolute pleasure to make the content. I'm really happy when people say that it provides them with a little bit of entertainment. Bumlord, thank you very much for the follow, dude. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, extremely
But-
slowly, brutally slowly.
And I'm probably going
We sort of guessed that
Honestly,
Medivh knows
like, part
about
of
the
it's like,
Shadowlands
okay, I'm
or
gonna
have
28
known
this
about
year.
it.
I need to start going fast. What am I doing? Why am I going so slow? Why am I so fucking poo brain
Taking it easy.
these days? Which, is all a big thought. But like, you can't just add more people. And that's actually the thing that I've began to appreciate.
Not bad, but I
Blizzard
would have hated that
could have
story.
infinite money and could still struggle to do this because
Bro, thanks for the 5 community subs. Did really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we get some love in chat? 5 community subs. You guys are far too kind. Just handing out the fucking money. I really appreciate that. I'll be grabbing it. Don't worry about it. Grabbing it like you grab dicks. I really appreciate that. Man, I need... Oh my god. Alex needs to do this immediately. Like, this new sound effect... Like, can you imagine a new sub coming out and this is the sound effect? Like, tell me that's not brilliant. I will suck a hobo's dick. That is the fucking sound effect we need for subbing. Rio, thanks for the tier 1 sub. Did really appreciate 10 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is the sound effect I need when it comes to subs.
money legit cannot solve every problem involved in scaling up
Lol.
a team to get more production capacity. Money seriously can't. It's actually at the stage where I'd almost think, would you not go with a very well-regarded outsourcing house?
Yes, so
Give
kind.
them a very clear, very
to
clear
Chris.
specs for a project, and you get your stuff from them, and then you are good.
I would say
That's
there's
almost
little-
certainly the
there's very
faster
little
way
toxicity
to
in
increase
FF.
your capability.
Yeah.
Here a really good example. Let's just
Oh, yeah.
say
Wow. You guys have gotten the Skamar string to level 3 already? Ah, you guys are soft. So soft. You see a fucking bar and you just want to fill it. Fight the urge, boys. Fight the urge. Don't let Twitch get you. Don't let Twitch fucking lie to you. There's nothing going to happen at the end of that line. We're still going to be watching this video. We're still going to be fucking pissed off at Shadowlands. Nothing's going to change. Life is just going to go on. You know? But I can see all you WoW Andys out there. Every single fucking one of you. You see a bar, it has to go up, right? Like suddenly you're like, oh my god, how do I make this bar go full?
I mean, not for our
But
current game, let's
the
just say
hot
for
tub
our
goals?
next game,
Yeah,
we're changing
save your
things
money
up.
for the
We
hot
wanna
tub
do some
chicks.
more-
Like, I know what you guys do. Right after this stream, when you go to bed, you go to Amaranth's stream and you go, all right, here we go. Now's the time to drop some cash. Save your money for that, boys. Amaranth is always going to be hotter than me, no matter how much money you throw at me.
Or like animation and 3D work.
Pretty
What's
exciting,
gonna be
ever, guys. Another bar
It's gonna be
appears.
easier for us to do a spec sheet, go to
Just
Top
another
Studios,
carrot on
like,
the stick.
mates of ours, be like, hello, 3D people.
Amaranth's
We
hot,
would like to
though.
outsource this part of a project to you.
Yeah.
They will say, okay.
She's not
here's a price and a
entertaining, but she
budget.
is
this
hot.
good? We're like, oh, shake hands. And then it's done. We have the thing. That is infinitely easier than scaling up our own in-house 3D capability.
Yeah, of course.
Because that takes ages, right? So
Stalin
I mean,
ultimate
that's-
Aido, brother.
That's like the response to the whole, you have money, just hire more devs. It's like, yeah, you
What
can
do you mean
that,
she's
but
been
it
with Ace Man?
actually takes a long time.
Wait, is there actual people here who think that Amaranth isn't hot? Upstream, there are better things to watch, like paint drying on your wall. Well, to be fair, I would say that watching a hot tub stream as your method of release, shall we say, is unnecessary. There are sites like Pornhub where I'm sure you can find girls that are in actual hot tubs and wouldn't just be wearing a bikini, you know. But as far as the hot tub streamers go, I would say Amaranth is probably among the best of them. Look, no hate towards the girl. She knows her fucking craft. She knows how to play the simps. She knows how to get every guy to think that he's her next boyfriend if he just pays another $5. Let's be honest. That is, without a doubt, she knows what she's doing. So, hate her or fucking love her, you have to appreciate the business sense that she has.
Time and the amount of it's not time neutral. Hiring new devs, you might think, oh, it just takes a ramp up time for that new dev to be good. Yeah, but what actually buys that dev the ramp up time? Turning to the experienced person, being like, hello, experienced developer, I have this problem, could you help me through this? And then they grow and they learn, but in a way at the
G4 drama. What G4 drama
work that their mentor can do. So adding new people slows the team down, and I have even heard that they did the big push in MoP to try to increase the team headcount.
No man can achieve that.
Maybe they didn't do it that well. I think we can all agree that was probably a good idea in principle.
They become
but
cringe very quickly. I'm a dude I can find in Chatavate a lot.
It's very hard
of much hotter
to scale
babes.
a company, and I think it's even harder.
No, as I'm sure you can,
game developer,
but I've never been to
Chatavate,
Chatavate, so
because they're interested in video games.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not because they're interested in growing and scaling a world-class.
You realize what's going on here? We're listening to Balialo right now as if they're background music. Chat and I is having a full-blown hot tub streamer conversation on Twitch while Balialo and Matt is sitting there doing their best to explain a leak in World of Warcraft. I fucking love it. Like, everyone in chat is just like, yeah, WoW is shit. We don't care. Let's talk about the fucking hot tub streamers on Twitch.
Company that's incredible to work at.
That's
then also means
G4
you don't
after
have
Frost told everyone to stop watching if they didn't
skill
like
set
the fact that she wasn't bangable.
Yeah.
Wait, Amaranth is on G4 now? When the fuck did that happen? You can't hide from Twitch drama. Chatavate, what's that? Do they chat about fishing bait? Exactly. You should go check it out, someone. But wait, is Amaranth actually on G4 now? Because I saw the Frosk thing. Gonna be honest with you, Frosk first came on my radar in League of Legends. She was part of the LEC team, and she was annoying as fuck and also stupid as crap. Like, her analysis of games were incredibly fucking horrible. Like, incredibly bad. Like, seriously, she did not. It was very clear that she doesn't understand League of Legends. Like, some of the shit she would say, you would just be like, oh my god, are you fucking serious? And before people go, oh my god, you just don't like her because she's a girl. No, I love Shocks. Shocks is actually incredibly good at analyzing League of Legends, even though she's not even paid to be an analyst for League of Legends. And Lore, which is the French girl, is actually fucking phenomenal at lore analysis. So it's nothing to do with females. It's to do with the fact that Frosk is a fucking moron. So I saw her meltdown of G4, and it's like, dude, it's not that people don't like you because you're not bangable. It's that people don't like you because you're scruffy as fucking stupid. You're just very unlikable. And imagine what would happen if you told your fans to go fuck themselves. Is that a good business deal? Like, if you owned a supermarket and you told every single customer that walked in, go fuck yourself, would that be the best way to approach that business? There's only really one business in which insulting your audience is acceptable and that's streaming. Because you and your audience have banter and you and your audience will insult one another consistently. It's what makes it fun. But in almost all other businesses, insulting your audience is not the right way to go about things. If you make YouTube videos, you don't want to sit there and tell your audience that they're stupid fucks, because not everyone is in on the joke. And she basically sat there for 10 minutes and mouthed off about how dudes don't want to listen to her because they can't bang her. And it's like, oh my God, someone stop the fucking presses. We just found out that sex sells. Of course sex sells. It's why every company in the fucking world uses sex to sell things. Surprise, surprise. If you're fat or overweight, you're not going to sell as many things. That's just it. People want to buy stuff from sexy people. Who would have fucking guessed? Rather, play to your strengths. Be funny or something if you're not going to be hot.
Right? It's like... is
and dildo
gaming
companies,
CEO
you are correct.
Who's just
Sorry,
there for the
yes.
games?
Dildo companies
what's
could
the
also
job of
tell their
CEOs
people to
officially
literally go
allocate
fuck
capital?
themselves.
Are they going to be able to efficiently allocate capital as well as somebody who is really passionate about that sort of thing? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's
makes you think, though, doesn't it?
That's ultimately where the problem comes in, where it's like, Bobby Kotick's a great
entirely
CEO.
based on sexual
was
shit.
a great CEO. Maybe he hasn't done a great job now, considering he's been slowly or rapidly forced to sell his company and leave. But Activision was built from nothing, from literally here's a couple of assets I bought real cheap. Here's this big thing.
Oh yeah, I remember
But,
that
he
Heathen
never-
Trucker. Oh my God, yeah, that was actually the worst. That was actually, I think, the worst thing she could have said. It's one thing to call people out for not wanting to fuck you and therefore not like you. Surprise, it's the internet. There's teenage boys that would almost literally fuck anyone except for Frosk, right? But then you tell your audience, you effectively admit to your audience, you are a game reviewer that do not actually play your own games. Someone else plays the games, they write the script, and then you just read it. And no wonder people doesn't trust that. Because one of the things that I think makes YouTube so important and why people love YouTube so much is that whenever you're watching a video, say for example, of your favorite YouTuber reviewing a game, you have every reason to believe that their review is at least honest, whether they love or hate the game and whether or not their opinion agrees or disagrees or aligns or misaligns with your own opinion. The opinion is going to be honest based on the person that you're watching. For example, I have YouTubers that I follow that whenever a game comes out and I play the game and I'm sort of like, oh, I love this game, but this guy and this guy and this guy isn't going to like this game. These are reviewers that I'm talking about. And then I go watch their reviews on the game, and I'm right. Based on what I saw in that game, they were not going to like this game. Because you get to know your YouTubers, you get to know the kind of games that they like, the kind of games that they really don't like. For example, a YouTuber that I love for a lot of games, but usually for story games, so games that fully places its sort of focus and onus on story, I don't necessarily take his opinion as highly, would be someone like Lazy Peon. Lazy Peon is an amazing content creator. I love watching every single one of his videos. But whenever a game is purely story-based, I know that Lazy Peon is probably not going to focus as much on the story, and therefore his opinion on the game is probably not going to be as high as I would, for example, regard the game, because my focus is far more on story and far less on things like gameplay. King Julian, you bastard. Thanks for the 1 months update. Really appreciate it. 28 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the basis of what Twitch started out being so popular for, honest opinions on video games. It's what I try to do. And yes, I piss a lot of people off, and yes, a lot of people get very angry at me, but I try to be as honest as humanly possible whenever I cover anything. I give you my opinion, and that's it. If you don't like my opinion, you can go fuck yourself. But, it's my opinion. You can either come with your own opinion, or you can go fuck yourself. It's really up to you.
cared about games, whereas
Motherfucker just
Yeah.
went to town on that personnel bonsai tree.
yeah,
Really, I
that's
still
the thing
like
where it's
him.
like, that's the thing you need to grow a company. You need someone with that skill set, but
I must say,
you
someone
see you
that's new to my realm of fucking love is Josh Strife Hayes. I am a massive fan of that dude in a very short amount of time. Fullbow Baggins, thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Thank you. Josh Strife Hayes' reviews on games is also so fucking on point. So well done. So really huge fan of his as well. They're sort of, I would say, the people that I look up to and want to be. Like, I want to be like Lazy Peon and like Josh Strife Hayes. It's my, I would say they're like my idols right now. Like, I shoot to be on that level of content where my content is on the same level, it's on the same quality, but obviously I'll always fall more on the angry side of things because I get angry easy. I don't cry as much, but I can get angry with the best of them. My emotions are in check, guys. I have emotions. It's called anger and laughter. Those are my two emotions. I don't have the others. I don't have access to them. But I do have anger and laughter. Great second monitor. Very true. Josh is like the perfect second monitor content.
you can see where it goes wrong. Where it's like, obviously there's a lot of problems with Blizzard. How much of that was Mike Morhaime?
We haven't reached the
having the
first
skill set as a
dungeon
CEO,
yet
especially when
of
they had
Stormblood.
such explosive
That's
growth.
how far I am.
Where it's like, well, okay, well,
We
higher.
last time we played, we finished Kugani Tower, and then we made Ninja Turtle Boy. So tomorrow night we have to finish or start the story with Ninja Turtle Boy.
People don't know how to do it. And then you have obviously the problem where the people who go for the like the CEO people don't care about the product or the people that much, and that's where it's like you need
Oh my
like a
fuck.
balance of perspectives at that top level as opposed to just one or the other.
I don't even know what we're talking about right
Apparently
now
none
in
of
this
those leaks have
video.
been right about 10.0 at all.
Hey, we've
That's
been so
interesting.
busy with other
Suggesting
shit.
dragons.
I've lost
Interesting. There's only
complete
one way to find out. and
track
that is
of
time.
where we were.
And obviously, if it is dragons, then we're like, oh, this is all bullshit.
None of the fake leaks have been
Well,
right about
To
10.0
be fair,
at
I
all.
will say maybe this is
Okay.
not they're wrong about everything.
King Journey, I
Maybe
just said
it's
tomorrow.
they're not right about the overall thing. It's like it could be the Dragon Isles, but it could be very
Reminds me
different.
of it
from
as
the
pretty
Dragon Isles.
pog.
Maybe.
Yeah, and like you could have.
If we have
a
time,
thing
we'll
about,
watch it
like,
now,
oh, we're
otherwise
gonna
we'll
do
watch it
this, like,
tomorrow.
Elf expansion in the Broken Isles and the Fallen Kingdom of Sur, or not Kingdom, whatever.
Oh,
of
yeah, we
Suramar.
did. You're right. We did do a dungeon in Stormblood. Yeah, you are correct. I think where we ended Stormblood was after... You guys know that quest? Naomi, how you doing? You guys know that quest where you have to sneak through Kugani after you punt the little, like, whatever that fucking thing was called? That's the one. We ended it there when Ninja Turtle Boy came to us. That's where we ended the last time.
It's like, oh no, that's the Legion expansion. That's just a bit of it. So yeah, there's also that.
Yeah.
Matt
we never
and
described
Balila
Eternity
seem like
as the
really
closing
cool
chapter of
guys to hang
Warcraft
out with.
internally. This only
Yeah, just
showed up
after the
in
stealth
marketing
mission.
after media outlets began making attention-grabbing articles about one of our competitors ending a 10-year story arc. Personally,
Is
this
where
was
we
a
ended
misfire,
it.
trying to compare and contrast at a time when we honestly couldn't, so we came off looking desperate and needy. Even in the office, the walking on water stuff is still joked about. And that's this thing to believe, they're also humans over there. They are going to laugh.
I'm trying to remember, what was the dungeon in Stormblood? Why can't I remember the dungeon? Remind me quickly, what do we do in that dungeon? Man, I have to stop stalling. Like, fuck. Oh, yeah. I remember now. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I remember. It's the one where you're on the ship and the ship gets dragged into, like, this vortex thing. That was really fun. That was actually really fun. I will say the difference is noticeable between Stormblood dungeons and Heavensward dungeons. It is definitely very noticeable. Cat in a Box, how you doing? Thanks for the first time chat. Really appreciate it.
at their own expense and stuff like that. That's just how it is.
Yeah, they're going to whether it's good for them or not, they're definitely going to see everything people are saying about their game and their expansion online.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like they'll be the number one, and this is how it is for even lots of content creators.
Will they keep it?
They'll be
I'm
Googling their
looking
own
forward
name,
to the
they'll be going
dungeons
on
then,
4chan
because
when
that
it's been
one
said about them,
dungeon
they'll
was
be doing all
really
this.
awesome.
Which is definitely just self-harm, but
Yeah, 100% it is, yeah.
We never
Well, it is.
described
Can be
Untitled
useful.
as the
So
closing
it's
chapter
definitely
of
a little
Warcraft
thing.
3 internally. This only showed up in marketing after
surprised.
media
I'd
outlets
say
began making
marketing,
attention,
totally
grabbing
like that.
articles
Marketing
about one
is,
of
I
our
think,
competitors
fucking
ending a
batshit
10-year
stupid
story
sometimes.
arc.
It's wild.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think WoW's marketing tends to be really cringe as fuck and feels super
Very
disconnected
bad.
from the game sometimes.
I mean that's the
Like
case
all
for
that, you know,
most-
WoW's marketing is clearly run by a PR team. If I said this before, so the WoW Twitter account is finally doing a bit better. They finally figured out that, hey, we're not supposed to be the PTR fucks of Blizzard Entertainment. We're supposed to be a Twitter account. We should be funny. We should be joking. We should be cringy. We should be all of these things because we're a Twitter account. It's what we do. So the WoW Twitter account has gotten much better. WoW marketing, on the other hand, is dog shite. The PR department for Blizzard Entertainment must be by far the worst PR department in the gaming industry, bar none. They're supposed to be public relations. They're supposed to fix your public relations. I cannot think of a single time World of Warcraft has suffered with public relations where their PR department actually made it better. Like, no joke. The PR department tends to make it worse. Like, there'll be some kind of blue post about the things that's gone wrong, and the blue post will be absolute dog shit. Like, just so clearly disconnected from the player base. And this is where you want real. So we always talk about this. Not we, as in the stream, humanity. Go watch every single YouTube apology video that's ever been made. What is one thing that sort of shines through every single one of those videos? They're fake. It's fake tears. You know how it starts. Every YouTube apology video, right? It's always the guy reaching out and sort of pretending as if he's turning on his camera, even though who the fuck does that? My camera doesn't turn on anywhere. I can't press a button to get my camera on. The buttons happen in software on your PC. And if you're going to make a video, you turn on the camera, you go sit down, and then you start your video. But in order to make it seem real, they do this, and then they go away. And now they're sitting there, and they're talking. And then there's always the same thing, right? It's always this... I screwed up. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to touch her in the way that I touched, even though she was my girlfriend and we had just had sex and we were cuddling. I grabbed her boob and I shouldn't have done it, guys. I'm so sorry. It will never happen again. I am going to try to be a better person moving forward. I'm going to take my girlfriend's feelings into consideration whenever I grab her boob, not to grab it as hard. I realize that this has caused a lot of problems. Like, they can't even fucking bring tears, you know? There's no tears. There's like this fake shit where taking pauses in between everything and sort of droopy eyes and not really looking at the camera. It's like, bro, why are you doing that? If you really did something wrong, you go live and you go, all right, guys, you know what? I fucked up. I am so sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I was a dickhead. I did these things. I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. You know? That's all I can really say. I can't promise that I'm going to be a better person in the future because I didn't even think I was a bad person in the fucking past. So, you know, it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. Oops. You know, well, that's it. That would be something that your audience would go, you know, he's a dick, but at least he's an honest dick. Whereas these guys make 10-minute fucking apology videos, and this is what Blizzard does. Every single one of their YouTube apology videos, their blue posts, comes across as completely fake and just like there's no substance there. There's no actual apology, and the apologies that they do offer is more everyone knows this kind of apology. I'm sorry you misunderstood me. That's not an apology. You're effectively saying, I'm sorry that you're too stupid to have understood what I just said. You are not apologizing for what you said. You are apologizing for me not understanding what the fuck you said. That's not an apology. That is a non-apology. Blizzard loves their non-apologies. Their PR department should be fired. But they should apologize if they deliver you the game that they were planning from Warcraft 3. No, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. Obviously, Blizzard doesn't have to apologize for Shadowlands. This was well thought out from the beginning, planned. I realize that. Look, guys, I've accepted the fact that I was wrong about Shadowlands the whole time. This is one of the greatest stories that has ever been told in World of Warcraft ever. The amount of forethought. Can you imagine how hard it must have been for them to know the story 20 years ago and having to wait this long to get the story onto our screens? But I can imagine they were bursting, when they finally got to show us this. So I'm obviously not saying bad things about Shadowlands. It's a great game, and you should absolutely go play it. Sorry, it seems Bobby Kotick is messaging me. Let me just quickly reply to him here. I'm glad you noticed that. People need to grow up and admit to I don't think I will. Good for you, bro. Think twice if you're in danger, Akko.
Stand as one. Defy death. Even in the patch when we're not defying death, we're literally fighting to protect it, right? It's like, what the fuck? So, yeah, that all makes sense.
I mean, well, let me think. Was it Horizon Forbidden West? The buses around here all say "Rise above our ruin." That has nothing to do with the game whatsoever at all. It doesn't. It's just words. And then what is it? Rise Tarnished is what a Bandai Namco have marketed Elden Ring with. You're like, that's not how the game feels at all to play. What are you doing?
It's like also how AMD marketed the Zen architecture. Whole Ryzen. That's why it's.
At least that worked out.
Yeah.
Well,
but yeah,
shut your old mouth.
That's just to say.
Oh shit! Minion shooting like right out there. Holy crap! Being pulled
it's
out
either,
just
or maybe
like
it's
that.
just trust fucking tasteless normies.
Shadowlands is obviously. So okay, how long do you think Elden Ring was in development for? How long do you think they've planned that? Did Elden Ring plan any of this shit 20 years ago? I think not. I think you will find the Shadowlands is really the only game in existence that planned their entire story 20 years ago. Like, people love to go on and on about how Shadowlands or how Final Fantasy loves their continuity and makes their game really feel complete. And you are right, but that's just because you're not intelligent enough to understand the Shadowlands story. It's not Steve Denuser's fault that he wrote this story for people with an IQ higher than 160 and you have an IQ barely 80. You can't blame that man for your shortcomings. The dude's writing 7D chess. Like, the guy literally invented 4 new dimensions in order to tell his fucking story. Do you know of any other game that has ever done that? I'll wait. Like, any other game that has ever invented 4 fucking dimensions to tell a story? No, I don't think so. So really, the fact that you guys don't like Shadowlands is really, you shouldn't go around telling people. You're basically just saying, I wasn't smart enough to understand this game. Truth.
People with taste. That's a very elitist.
Don't worry, I wasn't smart enough
frankly,
either.
I see stuff like that friggin' trailer they put out that's all like, da, 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 bah. And you're like, man, what is this? Why are, you know what? Just bring out the dubstep. Let's go. Let's make it just like that really bad Warcraft. Do you remember the Warcraft movie trailer that just got all like fucking electronic and shit? And we're like, what? No, this isn't it. This isn't it. What are you doing? Marketing people, why have you decided this?
Frank, this is true.
It's like
just having a challenge, be an easily accessible vacation destination now. Nigerian Catcar's voice acting again, though.
You can't show your friend a trailer for something you're interested in because the trailer is probably going to be so cringe.
And we thought an ASL fool that opened your mouth and
what's up. But anyway, yeah, marketing weird, and I would not be surprised if this kind of thing happened. Right? This and Walker is wrapping up a thing. So, how about we double their 10 years and do 20? Yo! It's very silly.
True.
Okay, the FF14 trailers are usually pretty good. But you know what I mean? Like those trailers where, the trailers where you can tell like dialogue isn't even correct. And if you actually look at the dialogue and then the lips that are moving in the trailer.
Zeno, I so often forget about the water in World of Warcraft. I should really stop forgetting about the water because it really is water that you've never seen before. It is water. That you can walk on. Like, where have you ever heard that? Katrina Stars, thanks for the ones up. Really appreciate it. 36 months in a row, actually. Thank you. What's so special about it? It's not like you can... I was a shaman, mate, for 60 years. I've always walked in water. Not this water, you haven't. This is special water. This is special water. This is the kind of water that you can walk on. Like, you have to understand this. 2,000 years ago, give or take.
Iced together completely. Like, seriously. Try to freeze frame some trailers and go through them. You'll be surprised how much of that is just editing tricks that, you almost like don't really...
Poggers, look, guys, if there's
like,
ever been a Poggers in chat that's really important, it's this one. Poggers in chat for the water in Zereth Mortis. It deserves a Poggy. If you've ever given a Poggy in chat ever, this is the one. This is where it is needed. It's required. Almost
actually stop and look at it because I guess that's the thing with with video editors. They can do a really good job.
Yep. Oh man,
but that's because your brain is a rationalization machine, so it wants to make sense of what it's seeing.
Of course. Shad, you've just killed my brain by reminding me of that.
Oh shit!
Doom Eternal's launch trailer was had a rap song in it. When Doom Eternal's music is not as good as the first ones, but still incredible. And obviously based in, the metal history.
Something they have no knowledge or even a yearning for knowledge of.
People are so mad about that.
They seem really proud about it on the trailer. Zeno, they really do.
Like, hey, marketers.
They really do.
Respect the people making the game. Oh dear. So 9.2. Now this,
Pedro,
going back.
You can't walk on the water in Final Fantasy XIV. So stop fishing there. What is interesting to me is that you can fish in the water of Zereth Mortis. And you can also walk on it. How does... Explain that logic. Wouldn't your fishing hook just bounce on the water and then, not go in it? What's different between the fishing hook and your feet? You can walk in the water, but you can fish in it too. How does that even work?
Back to the leak again, and I say leak, it's an unverified leak. It just happens to be interesting and well written. I will
Alyosha,
say that
how you
some
doing?
of this is where
I'm so sorry.
This is where I fall off personally. 9.2 was the lowest returning user rate of any content update in the game's history. You know what? We could test this. We could test this because we have the numbers of initial patch 9.1 in terms of raid
I could
participation,
actually agree with
very
this.
easily get the initial stats.
I mean, it is biased, I will say. It is very biased. But I can agree with this. I didn't see much hype for 9.2 outside of the usual shulls that will always hype WoW no matter what. My Twitter feed have largely been dead for World of Warcraft content, and I didn't suddenly unfollow anyone. Like, I didn't go on a massive unfollow spree to kill my Twitter feed. People have just not really been talking about World of Warcraft 9.2. The tweets that I have seen about World of Warcraft Shadowlands 9.2 is mostly people saying they're not having as much fun in 9.2 as they were hoping. And these are people that have been playing for a while. These are people that loved Shadowlands up until 9.2, or at least didn't mind Shadowlands as much up until 9.2. So
actually, we'll probably do that as a future video. That would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised, but a part of that is just always going to be because it's later patch. Yeah. It's just more opportunity for people to leave. I think even in really good expansions, a degree of that has happened. Anyway, apparently lower than even the patch 6.1 Garrison update. Now, here's the thing. That's not a fair comparison to me, because even at the time of the Garrison update, like, that was close enough to WoD launch.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would actually even be a fair thing. We expected lower interest from players, but never to this degree. The sentiment from certain people in a leadership capacity I can only describe as spending their days huffing their own farts, laced with gaslighting and toxic positivity, is that this is less blame on their part and more blame on certain influential content creators and streamers choosing to put a spotlight on competing products. And
okay, so let's imagine this is real. Let's imagine that this leak is real. Like I said from the beginning, I don't think it is, but let's imagine it is real. So I can say that this person probably has someone that works for Blizzard, because based on what I have heard, this seems to hold trick with what I have heard from people who work at Blizzard Entertainment. A good example of this is a developer. I'm not talking about some kind of support staff. I'm talking about an actual Blizzard developer. You guys will know this developer. If I say who it was, you would know exactly who I am talking about. Told me straight up, no lies, the failure of BFA was a result of Trump getting elected and England leaving the EU. That was why BFA failed. It wasn't because BFA was bad. It wasn't because BFA was just complete dog shit. It was because Trump got elected, as if that, like, what the I know a lot of people dislike Trump, but I'm not sure that Trump did anything to World of Warcraft that I know of, at least. Reader, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. And England leaving the EU? How did that suddenly, like, what the fuck could that have influenced BFA in any way, shape, or form, right? So that was the blame that they believed played a part on why BFA failed, yeah? I've heard from other sources within Blizzard that they continuously do this. Whenever something goes bad, they find someone to blame for it. Asmongold is a very fun outlet for them. Like, they love blaming Asmongold for a lot of things going wrong. Here's what I would say to that. Here would be my retort to that line of thinking. If I started playing a game tomorrow on stream that you guys looked at and thought, this sucks, I hate this game, this is a stupid game, and I started making YouTube videos on this game, even though it sucks, would you leave all your other games and come play this game that you think is really fucking stupid? Or would you just stop watching? I would argue that most of you would just stop watching, because you have no interest in the game that I'm playing. You don't find the game interesting at all. I'm reminded of a streamer actually in this week telling Asmongold that he doesn't like when Asmongold plays Lost Ark. And I've heard a couple of Asmongold's viewers going, they don't like when he's playing Lost Ark. It's just not their kind of game. They don't find any fun watching him play it. Streamers don't have as much power as you think they have. If you have a great game and you get streamers to play your game is going to pick up and many people are going to start playing it. But if you have a shit game that no one gives a shit about, people aren't going to switch because it sucks. They don't want to play that game. So their arguments of blaming streamers for putting spotlight on competing products is only relevant because the competing product is better than whatever the fuck you guys can provide.
And what this means
Is
is
boring
that,
vibe? Yeah, that's the one,
you know,
perpetrator.
you did a clip and
I've heard a
convinced
couple of
Asmongold
other
to
viewers
actually
from
build
him
an
who
FF14,
don't like his
and
Lost
this is
Ark
all
play.
your fault. And I think the assassins are going to come for you any minute, man. You're gonna get assassinated, Matt.
Try me.
Yeah, we're actually quite worried in the office. His
Apologies in live stream of Todd. It's
the
still
last few
shit.
days, I
Very
turned
true.
the lights off, and he was actually like shimmering slightly. He seems to be absorbing like all of this soul energy. I'm getting really worried. It's like all of the. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's got to deal with Yoshi P and like they're sharing the soul funnel or something, but it's not cool. Matt's getting too powerful. He needs to be stopped before he takes out any other companies. It's getting worrying.
Wait, Matt's killing WoW? Lol. Poor Matt.
What's this? None of
Dude's
us grunts
powerful
like
as
what
fuck.
happened with Sylvanas any more than you did. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not going to say anything more. I would say that certainly most content creators will also know this, just because.
Yeah.
I mean, I see what.
You think Asmon's treat of showing how pay-to-win Lost Ark is had an effect on the devs' recent decisions? Yes. I think whenever someone as large as Asmongold says anything about your game, if you're smart, you're going to listen. If you're smart, you're going to listen. What you see is Asmongold streaming for 60 to 70,000 people. Sometimes over 100,000 people. What you don't see is that Asmongold was actually streaming for well over 1 million to almost 2 million, sometimes even 3 million viewers. Why? Because the average view time on Twitch is, I believe, something like 30 to 35 minutes. My streams come out at about 75 minutes, which is actually in the, I believe, top 0.01% of Twitch streamers. So the majority of you watch the stream for longer than an hour. But that is like crazy long. I think the number one watched streamer on Twitch in that category is XQC. Like XQC streams are crazy long. Like people watch these streams, I believe, almost over 100 hours, 100 minutes per stream that people watch in one go. So people come and go. So the viewer bases that you're seeing, the viewership numbers that you're seeing for Asmongold is actually far higher than like it's actually in actuality it's far higher or far lower than the actual number of people that's watching it. So yeah, it just, the dude has massive reach. Like someone the size of Asmongold can absolutely kill a game on his own, because most games would kill for 3 million copies sold. If you can get 3 million people to play your game, you're making money. Like that's good fucking cash. So if someone like Asmongold says something negative about your game, you'd be a moron not to listen to him. I mean, we're right now streaming for about 150 people, right? We can taste this. It's not always the same, but it is close enough, I would say. Let's go to video producers here. And we can check here, right? So my last stream, 1,500 people watched it. I believe the last stream had 110 average viewers, and 1,500 people ultimately watched it. That's just after views. I can't really show you the, wait, I'm not allowed to show you this tab, so I'll do it rather like this. Sorry, guys, I'm not allowed to show you that tab. Check out SL Season 4 post. I have seen that. I have watched it already. We've already reacted to it. It should be up on YouTube by tomorrow. Okay, let's go for... what's the last stream I did here? Let's go Wednesday, right? So Wednesday was the last stream I did. On Wednesday, I had an average viewership, right, of 65. But we only streamed for an hour and 13 minutes. Right? Remember when my my foot was in such a fucking state? We only streamed for an hour and 13 minutes. In that, we had an average viewership of 65. We had unique viewers, 259. The day before that, we had 125 average viewers, but we had 1,000 unique viewers. So you can imagine, times it by 10, Asmongold streams, and you come close to, and remember, with more popularity, he gets more of these viewers. So you can times his viewership numbers by 10, and that's sort of where you're going to fall for a good guess. Actually, live views came 1,650. So, yeah, you want to take someone like Asmongold seriously. You want to take someone like Asmongold seriously. If you don't, you end up risking your own brand.
Howley says...
Lay me down. How you doing, brother?
It's like almost that's part of the reason why I'm willing to be like a little bit more wink, wink, nudge, nudge about things.
Blue, by the way, thanks for the first time chat. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I've heard because it's like, well, fucking Dowley
Only
says this
Blizz,
shit all the time. So
no one can understand their story. They're a business. They need to be writing for everyone. So fucking true, Katrina.
And yes, I have heard a lot of chit chat that it was not happy days and everyone's just holding hands. Dancing around the fire, all happy. No, I think all of this stuff has been very...
Legit, so true.
The WoW team is comprised of WoW players. This has been very controversial for WoW players. Obviously, it'll be very controversial within the WoW team.
Yep.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Reater, thank you so much for the Prime sub, dude. Really appreciate it. Welcome to the most generous chat on Twitch. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is very much appreciated. I don't agree with that. Does anyone here think that World of Warcraft developers actually play WoW? I'd be well fucking surprised if any of them actually play WoW. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think they spend much time playing WoW.
Of people who play other games a lot of the time, and there's a lot of FF players in the whole team as well.
There is?
Yeah. Turns out the individuals can't be blamed for a group problem, I guess.
Well, that's it. Yeah, you can have a lot of group dysfunction.
Yep.
Like you could get imagine this, right? Like a university project with, it's like half of the top people in the class, but they don't have a cohesive vision. And, egos get involved and they bicker amongst each other. And it's like they're going to massively underperform. Whereas a bunch of average people just working together are obviously going to excel.
Like, look, I'm obviously being very hyperbolic and a little bit facetious when I say that they don't play their game. Because I know that they do play their game, I know that WoW devs play World of Warcraft. I just don't think they're playing it correctly. And I'm not trying to tell anyone how to play the game, but when you're a dev... It's almost imperative that you play the game the way that your audience would play the game. That is literally the only thing that I would say you have to do as a developer. You have to play the way that your players play the game. If you don't, you end up in a place where you're effectively insulating yourself inside a bubble, where you play with your friends, you play with your guild, and you're having fun because you're playing with your friends. As a developer on a game, you don't want that to happen. You don't want to fall into that bubble. You want to. This is one of the reasons why Yoshi P will oftentimes do this, where he'll go play with the community. He'll do dungeons and trials and stuff with the community because he's trying to play the game the way that the community plays it. That way, he gets to see what their decisions will mean for the game. Will it move the game forward? Will it move the game back? Is it going to cause problems for people? The only way you get to see that is if you're physically playing the same game as your audience is playing. If you look at Ian Ezekostas, we did this a while ago. Does anyone know what Ian Ezekostas' WoW character is called? Because a while ago, we did this actually during 9.1, where we Googled Ian Ezekostas' WoW character. He's main. He's cleared heroic. He's cleared mythic. He had some normal bosses, not all of them, but some. And he had 0 LFR bosses. Like, not a single fucking one. Now, you might say, but Akalon, Ian Ezekostas is a hardcore raider. Why would he do LFR? Well, he's not just a hardcore raider. Ian Ezekostas is the game director for World of Warcraft. How are you going to have a system in your game that is so bad that you yourself don't even partake in the system? Or maybe it isn't even that bad because you don't know how people feel when they play that system. You have no idea because you're not doing it. You should be doing it so that you can understand why people are complaining about certain things. If someone tells you, I hate LFR, and you've never done LFR, you're not going to understand why. But if you've done it and you've highlighted the problems that you have in LFR, and someone comes to you and says, I hate LFR, you'll have a better idea of why they might hate LFR. If you're the lead developer, it's in your job description that you should play every single element of your game.
Don't expect WoW to show up on Xbox even post-merger. The game's entirely designed with add-ons in mind. It has been for as long as I worked there. I wouldn't be surprised, but I think it would make sense for it to come out on Xbox actually, because look, it works for FF.
Do you think there's ever going to be a chance that add-ons will be available for games on Xbox and PlayStation? Things like add-ons, mods, things like that. Do you think that can ever happen, or do you think that's basically a PC exclusive thing? These games do have mods on Xbox. They already have aimbots for FPS games. Yaya Hoskat, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate it. I'm so sorry if I butchered your name. Can't get mods for FO4? There was some mods for Skyrim you could install to remove combat add-ons. I don't know. Like, if it's possible to mod already, then you could probably still do it, right? Portal to Undercity is disabled on PTR. Maybe since it's revamped, we can't go there for next patch. Maybe. Actually, that could be possible. We'll go through all the leaks in a minute.
It's a case where they would need to make major changes that actually happen, basically.
Yeah. So 2021 was the first time since I began working at Blizzard in 2011 where the term free-to-play was ever brought up. Don't expect this, however. Sub numbers are at their lowest, but the WoW token and cash shop are extremely profitable, so expect more content in the store in 10.0. That makes sense anyway. Yep. We've seen there be more like
wow. They actually, if this is real, in 2021, they actually for the first time started talking seriously about the term free-to-play for World of Warcraft. That is interesting. And yes, if in a minute an Akalonian is an hour or two, this is true. This is true. If the game drops any more, they don't have a choice. They will have to go free to play. There's no other options because then you're basically already only banking on your WoW token and your cash shop to make you money. So you may as well then go full in and try and get as many players into your game that can use the cash shop and the WoW token.
A transmog in the store recently. I think actually one of our news things today is going to be the cat bundle.
Yep. The cat pack.
Which is going to feel a bit iffy to the people who bought the cat full price a few months ago.
Oh, yeah.
Ago. But anyway, on the topic of 10.0, apparently the internal codename is Paradox. We'll find out why in April.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting, considering we talked about the word Paradox.
Nebula, if they go free to play, yes. There will most likely be more pay to win elements in the cash shop. not as many as you might think and not as obvious as you might think. I don't think they'll ever go full blown, let's do this, balls to the wall, pay to win. But I can see them adding certain quality of life changes to World of Warcraft that you can pay for. So, for example, you make flying very difficult to get, but then you allow people to buy the items required for flying straight from the cash shop. You know, so things like that, which wouldn't be pay to win, essentially. It would be more pay to skip, or pay for convenience. But it's kind of pay to win, because if the game becomes too inconvenient, then you're forced to pay anyways.
Paradox earlier today in terms of the Deaths of Crummy setup.
But
Yeah.
yeah, never talk about full pay to win. There is almost not a single MMO on the market today, at least made in I have to jump off. Last class until April. Later, everyone. Latipus, take care of yourself, bro. Enjoy. There is not a single MMO coming out of the West these days that is full pay to win. The West have pretty much spoken. The West doesn't like pay to win. It doesn't want pay to win. Games that include pay to win tend to do really, really badly in the West. So if you want to kill your game, you go full pay to win. But you can absolutely expect something akin to maybe a little bit less than Lost Ark. So slightly less than Lost Ark.
We have spent more time in 10.0 than the entirety of Shadowlands. The leaks for Cataclysm and Wrath sucked as a developer. Oh, so just that they fully got leaked.
Well, yeah, those big leaks.
Yeah. It's funny. WoD also got humongously leaked. It's just nobody believed it.
Yeah.
True.
What a curveball.
That's so funny.
I'm glad I'm working in a better place now, but I still don't want to post a bullet point list of things we worked on to ruin the surprise. But no, Tinkers. We honestly have never understood the obsession. High elves we get, but something about Tinkers drives people in the forums crazy.
Yep.
People want a Tinker, man.
Dude,
now, here's the bit.
How can you not understand the obsession about Tinkers? The ability to play a class where that class's only job is to make other things better? How does that not make sense? Why would that not be fun? You throw out turrets that do damage and then do things with those turrets that do damage. How do you think that is not something that people would truly enjoy? It would be an engineer, but it would be a combat engineer.
That's the biggest.
Yeah, it's the.
And that would
I
be
think
fun
there's a
as
couple strikes
fuck.
here, but this
I don't
counts
care what
for
anyone
3 strikes
says.
alone.
Yeah, this is it for me. Apparently, the sub numbers are just under 400k. 9.2 saw an uptick of around 20,000 players. Bullshit.
That's not true.
Apparently, this hit the team morale really hard. They will come back when we release something new. Was always one of the mantra, but clearly not the case. I mean, I know that this is.
That is not true.
Our heads in the sand. They will come back. I know that's been a thing. But here's the thing. Sometimes you actually need something.
There
like
is
that.
no way that only 20k people came back. No chance whatsoever. There would at least have been a couple of 100,000 people would have come back for 9.2. No chance that there's only 20k people. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Like, this guy can suck my dick if he thinks that's the truth. But it feels also like this could still be true, and that he's just sort of, this last part is via. Because it feels like this guy left the game a while
to be
ago.
able to just fucking go forward.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. We can either have a convenient life so we can get our job done for 6 months, or we can just fall to despair.
Exactly.
Which, obviously is not really going to be productive.
Yep.
So,
But
I think this is
remember,
bullshit.
Vidget,
completely-
you don't
there's-
have
like, yeah,
to be a
like,
tinker if you
there's-
don't want to be
There
a
is
tinker.
one possible way I think it might not be complete bullshit, but it's so out there, which is they're only using the Western sub numbers, and the game's substantially worse than anyone genuinely thinks it is, because our estimations were like 9.1, which was pretty bad patch all things considered. Our estimation is like 1.2 mil, somewhere between 1 and 2 mil, somewhere roughly around there, based on character activity and stuff like that. So it's like there's no way it's under 400k.
And if I remember some of that data, it would be pretty hard. That was one of those
I
metrics.
could actually
that I think
see-
it was based on characters and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a metric that's more accurate the closer you are to the start of an expansion.
Yeah.
So I don't actually think we could run the same numbers for 9.2. Now, I will say I have heard so many people say 9.1 was just the nail in the coffin for them.
Yeah.
No, I don't think lore would leak this.
So
It's not
I
his
would
style.
not be surprised if there was a tremendous fall off in players between those patches. But I just don't buy that.
No,
I do not
it's
buy that whatsoever.
Yeah, there's no way.
It's nowhere
I
near
would
that
be
level.
well surprised if that
and
is
then,
true.
yeah, if YouTuber makes a video about this, I just want a panda wife, says this. Is this the leaker?
No, this is someone else. Just someone just
cool.
posted the thread.
And, you know, in fact, this is one of the more acceptable images you'll find in 4chan.
Yep.
Just
Absolutely.
dicks. Just everywhere. There's just so many dicks. So many dicks. It's a crazy place, that 4chan.
I feel like this must be just a joke. Especially that last bit. Just makes me think this was just a guy that really wanted a YouTuber to cover his leak. But, you know, a lot of this is still valuable as an insight into what went wrong at Blizzard. Even if it wasn't a leak, this is stuff that we've spoken about. So I wouldn't say that anything in this entire leak came as a surprise to me. I wasn't surprised at all. It's just interesting. All right, so let's see this this Twitter stuff. That's basically my entire Discord have turned into one massive fucking Twitter fiasco. So let's quickly see this. Furiox, thank you so much for coming out. Really appreciate it, dude. Take care of yourself. Okay, I'm gonna try and do all of these in a single fucking tab, which is gonna be tough to say the least, but I'm gonna try. Hold up, guys. I'm opening things here. Drokits, thanks for the tier 2 sub. Really appreciate it. 3 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm opening up tabs here, so give me a fucking moment, guys. Man, this is so many tabs. Like, what the fuck? Cassiel, why is there so many tabs? Oh my god, that's so much. I don't even know if you gave it to me in order, or if I'm just going to be jumping through, like, from one side to the next. I don't think there is an order, is there? Alright, I think that's all of them. I think that's all of them. Okay, so we have new data mines. Data mines have become available. Magus installation. This is no mindless strike. I have a strong suspicion that some powerful entity is manipulating the Scourge. Ever since the Arm of Domination was shattered, there has been a conceivable risk that someone else could exert their will and assume control over the undead, at least temporarily. Ramath and I can help defend Tranquillin, but we need to break those lines. Clear a spot for us. Let us see if we can draw out their leader. All right, so we have someone new now controlling the Scourge. One would think without a Lich King to create new Scourge, we could just go about and kill all the Scourge, and this would take care of most of the problems of the Scourge. No? Because there's no new Scourge, and they can't procreate, so who gives a shit? Lothron Theron says, or Lothmar, these reports are alarming, Lady Liadrin. Tranquillin is in danger of being overrun by Scourge? Their forces appear far too organized for this to be some random attack. Perhaps we should request additional aid from our Horde allies. And waste more time awaiting their arrival? No, we must address this at once. Then we must call up those still in training. We will hold the line and keep Quel'Thalas safe. I swear it. Very well. I will open the way and meet you in Tranquillin. You can't just kill the undead. Remember that Arthas was wrong? But you could just kill the fucking undead. All right, so this is Undercity. Is this supposed to be a picture that's reworked? Just looks same. Just looks like the green was removed. What am I not seeing that I should be seeing? I know this is probably off subject, but I wanted to ask, what do you think about what's going on with the Rings of Power and what Amazon pretty much destroying Mr. Tolkien's world? Regarding farms, etc.? Alright, so it's basically just sort of life returning to it. Big Travel Inc., how you doing, bro? Why didn't we think of that before? Just kill the undead? Well, it would work, no? Viper Moon... I don't really know anything about the Rings of Power. Like, I can't answer that question because I genuinely do not know. Vandalore. What the hell is this picture? I figured he might have been an example of a Kyrian who ascended without giving up his memories, to show the change, but guess not. Shame. Strange, speaking with you. It is as if a long-forgotten memory flickers in my mind. Perhaps I remind you of my mentor, Lady Liadrin. She said she was adopted like me by a man named Vandalore. I do not recall. To better focus upon the service I perform, I let go of my mortal memories. Even so, it was a pleasure to meet you, young one. May your weapon serve you well. Alright, so this doesn't really matter, right? It's her dad? I didn't even know that. Grammy, how you doing, bro? So far, yet waiting for it to become awesome. Alright, so we have Lady Liadrin and Salandria hanging out. I would love to see more Lady Liadrin. Wait. She has a new title. Blood Knight Matriarch. Yeah, I'm trying to remember now. This is not how I remember Liadrian. Is this how you guys remember her? I don't remember Lady Liadrin looking like this. Wasn't Liadrin... Which one was it that was always very skimpy? Like, very skimpy outfit. That wasn't Liadrin. And Salandria was a kid? Blood Knight Tabard? Yeah, but I'm trying to remember... Valeria is the one that was very skimpy. Yeah, it was Valeria. Never mind. Never mind. I mean, it's a cool looking armor, even though I don't remember this armor for Liadrin. It is a cool looking armor. I like the armor. Although Salandria looks cool as shit. That armor looks badass. So... Vorath, Amalgam of Wrath. Okay. Lorthamar says some stuff again. Let's see. I will inform the Ebon Blade of what it transpired. If the Scourge caused such problems here, I suspect matters in Northrend may be even worse. But regardless, your efforts must be lauded. When our lands were threatened, you stood strong and held the line. Know that you have our gratitude, and that you set a shining example for the future. Calfulas. Dude, why is it that even in... after all this, they still can't get the dialogue stuff right? Seriously? Why must we go through this every single fucking time? This isn't dialogue. No one's talking to you involving you in the story. You get sort of bland dialogue that says, "Oh, we couldn't have done this without you. We'll remember your actions. For us. And you're like, okay, what exactly did I do? What was the point of what we were doing? Do you have any insights, maybe? Is that going to be a cinematic or a book? When am I actually going to figure out what the fuck was going on here? Someone say check Wowhead. Does Wowhead have a collection of all of this? They should do, right? My God, there's so much shit. Let's go to the fucking earliest of this. So here it is. Strings, mounts featuring... Okay, so this is mounts. New mounts for 9.2. This is not bad. So obviously this is sort of the first post that they have 2 hours ago, 2 hours and 30 minutes ago. Data mining bold. Pretty decent mount, I think. Decent looking at least. Taste mount. Vendor Uncle Big Pocket. Yeah. I don't know if you should, like, I don't know. Probably gonna be like maybe 2-seater mount if this is a real mount that's coming in WoW. It's gonna be 2-seater. I don't like it because it feels a bit fantasy breaking to me. But, you know, Blizzard could probably do it whatever the fuck they want. This seems like just a reskin. Or at least close to a reskin. Is missing the reindeer. Can 12 gnomes be on the front of that? I would like it if it was. The Green Hawks. Really? Green Hawk Strider now? Oh my God. Must we get new Hawk Striders? Is that really what's important? Alright, let's fucking leave it. You know, who gives a shit? Vicious War Strider. Is this... Did I not just look at this? No. When the... What was I looking at prior? Oh, I sort of skipped. New reporting categories. Wait a second. Let's get this one first. Reporting major category gameplay sabotage. Category cheating. Inappropriate name. Minor category AFK. Minor category hacking. What the fuck? How can you say, Katrina Stars, how you doing? Thank you very much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Take care of yourself. See you tomorrow. How can you put hacking as a minor category? Can someone answer that to me? Can someone give me an answer on that? How is hacking a minor category? Like, oh, this guy's using bots or hacking, you know, it's not really that bad, you know? Or this guy is hacking other people's information. Who gives a shit, you know? Minor category, inappropriate. Minor category, spam. Minor category, advertisements. Minor category, custom game name. What? What does that mean? It's obviously means subcategory. It's a subcategory of cheating. Well, you can't say it obviously means that. It doesn't necessarily obviously mean that. Because if it was a subcategory, it could say subcategory. Character thrall, for instance. Reporting details, report chat, report friend. Cross-faction disable tooltip. Okay, this is just a bunch of bullshit. Don't care about any of that. New titles. I don't care about that either. The Vicious War Strider. Is this a unique mount? Sorry, guys, I don't really collect mounts in WoW, so I don't know. But is this actually a unique mount? I mean, it just looks like a wolf with a sharp face. It looks cool. I'm just not sure if it's unique. Yeah, I can't really go through mounts, because like I said, I don't really collect mounts. Oh, Druid Travel Foam color. That is actually something that could be interesting. Just the one. Alright. Don't care about that either. Here we go with maps. Let's see what the maps have for us. So we have the map. Jesus, these maps that's unfinished is so weird to look at. I can't get excited for any of this. I'm so sorry, guys. This used to be my bread and butter. Covering, like, leaks and data mines and stuff. I'm looking at this and there's literally zero excitement whatsoever. Just none. Here we go. Maybe this Talia one will spruce things up for me. Father, I've been thinking about when we last spoke, and I wanted you to know. I will never agree with your choice to hide the truth that you were still alive, but I understand why you did it, and that you didn't mean to hurt me. I believed I would be trapped in that ice forever, holding the scourge at bay. I thought that was the only path left for me. I dared not hope for anything more. When the helm was broken and I was free, I was afraid. Bolvar Fordragon, champion of the Alliance, afraid of what? Of you. That the daughter I loved with all my heart would find me and see only a monster. No, I see you for the hero you are, and the father you can yet be, if you're willing. I won't waste this chance, Talia, I promise. Okay. Been writing for like 3 years now. Amateur stuff, really short stories. Short stories and the like. But it's painfully easy to write dialogue sometimes. I don't understand how some people can fuck it up that bad. If your focus isn't on dialogue, then it's easy to fuck up. Because this passage, yeah, is... This is meant to bury the hatchet and bury the story. It's sort of the end of the story of Talia Fordragon and her father, right? And that's all you get, is this little box that... If this happened in Final Fantasy XIV, we'd be in for a 15-minute cinematic. Yeah, Cassiel, sure. Stay a while and listen. Dialogue of random, non-important shit is fine. A major storyline that was meant to be and never took off is not fine. This would be like saying, you know what, Putin nuked New York, but, you know, it's okay if you just sort of mention it as an aside. It's like, oh, yeah, you know, a lot of stuff happened in the world today, and also Putin nuked New York, but on to sports. No one would be okay with that. Everyone would be like, what the fuck? Wait a second, you're basically going Putin nuked New York onto sports? What are you fucking talking about? Like, you can't just skip that. That's like the biggest story. And you're just going, oh, never mind. You know? Sure, not every story needs a punchline, but what the fuck is this? This is a story that provides you with the opportunity to actually make an emotional connection within the game. And there is no punchline. There is no actual story here. Talia Fordragon has no real moment, even in Shadowrun. So here's why this is so confusing and why it pisses me off. At no point do we find Talia Fordragon being angry and sort of livid at her father and never wants to see her father again. Yeah. And then we see her sort of go into this sort of depressive state where she's angry at her father, she's sad, she's unhappy, but she's sort of coming to terms with it. And then we see her ultimate moment of realizing that what she had gone through and what she's experiencing, she can't blame her father for this. She has to move on. That journey wasn't really shared with the player. The player sort of saw when she found out that their father was alive, and there was sort of a bit of dialogue around that, right? And then nothing really else happened. Shadowlands happened. She came face to face with her father. There wasn't much in that dialogue, in that exchange between her and her father. And now at the end, she goes, "Oh, I understand why you did it. I'm so sorry. I understand. I'm still hurt, but I'll get over it. I know you were just trying to do the best you could." It's like, okay, so where's the suspense? Where's the progression? There's no character progression in Talia Dragon. She goes from being quite upset with her father in BFA to, I forgive you, and there was nothing in between. There was nothing in between. If Talia Dragon wasn't meant to be a major story, why the fuck was she there? Cassio. Simple as that. What was she doing in the Shadowlands if she wasn't meant to be a major story? Because she wasn't doing anything fucking else. She had no sense or purpose anywhere in that game whatsoever. If you remove Talia Dragon from Shadowlands, Shadowlands still happens exactly the way that it happens. No. Nothing changes. So what was she doing there? If her story wasn't supposed to be some major part of the game, then why was she there? It's a waste of time. To get the full story, you just have to wait and see. Yeah, it feels like it. Archmage Khadgar. It's fucking good to see Khadgar coming back. Maybe he can save this fucking game. Hello, Jaina. Khadgar, it's good to see you again. When we last parted, I regret that those were perilous times. The Legion's attack, then the war. I think we both needed to find our own way through. I have no hard feelings, only friendship. I feel the same. But surely you didn't come all the way to the Shadowlands just to find me. No. For years I've read about this place in Medivh's books. I stood atop Karazhan and caught glimpses through the veil. I suppose I wanted to gaze upon the realms of death with mine own eyes before. Is Khadgar turning into... what's his name again? Oh my god. Oriange. I think they're turning Khadgar into Oriange, slowly but surely. They've realized people love Oriange so fucking much, they need an Oriange as well in WoW. Because that is the weirdest sentence I've ever read. I suppose I wanted to gaze upon the realms of death with mine own eyes before. Does Khadgar speak like that at all? Ever? Khadgar doesn't speak like that. Khadgar wouldn't use the word with mine own eyes. Khadgar would just say with my own eyes. Yeah, it seems like Blizzard is just sort of shoehorning Khadgar into being uber danger. It doesn't sound like Khadgar at all. Khadgar is more casual, more like he's learned, but he's not snobbish about being learned, right? Maybe Khadgar has been playing a bit of FF or Uber Danger is rubbing off on him. Anyways, is everything all right, Khadgar? I feel the weight of years upon me, Jaina. The burdens carried, the choices made. Forgive the musings of an old man. I think I'll look around and see these Shadowlands a bit. See what wonders I can find. But Khadgar isn't that old. Khadgar is 40, maybe? Khadgar was in his 20s during the First War. but Khadgar only aged in terms of looks, not in terms of physical appearance. Not in terms of his physique. The battle with him and the demon just took so much out of him that it left him grey. Khadgar, I don't know. No, he didn't have a beard. I don't think. Dying from old age? It would be very weird if he aged this fucking quickly. Like, there's no way. Yeah, maybe... No, but he is in the Shadowlands. Cassiel, we do know how much time has passed. He's in the Shadowlands. The Aiden of the Shadowlands sees us restoring the Veil. When we kill Zuval, the Veil is closed, which would mean that we would all have to get the fuck out because we're not supposed to be there anymore. So it wouldn't be like this is 100 years from now or even 20 years from now or even like 10 years from now. This would be in this timeline still because Jaina is still there. Khadgar comes there. So this is still in this exact timeline. So we would at least know that. They're sort of making it seem like he's this incredibly old guy. He's not really that old, but maybe they just sort of mean the things that he's been through. So I'm going to throw them a bit of a bone here and say that Khadgar has been through much. So even if he is just 40, the amount of things that Khadgar has had to endure during his short life, well, long life at that point, would still be enough to make you feel a lot older than what you are. So I don't have any issues with it. I just for a second there thought, wait a second, did Steve Denuser not know that Khadgar looks older than what he actually is? And then I realized, well, it could just be that they're sort of hinting at him. You know, he's starting to feel the pressures of everything that has ever happened to him. I've heard tales of conniving brokers, a city of secrets, and the land of ancient knowledge. How intriguing. Dude, don't even go there. Khadgar. Don't go to the city of secrets. It is not at all as it is fucking advertised in the brochure. You do not get what you pay for. Believe me, the internet website looks a hell of a lot nicer than whatever the fuck you get there. There is nothing to see there. Maybe the land of ancient knowledge, but the city of secrets is a complete bust. I wouldn't go there. Sounds like you'll be keeping busy. Just don't leave without saying goodbye. I've missed you, old friend. Count on it, Jaina. Be seeing you. Yeah, it's not even a city. It's a forest. Not even a forest. There's not enough trees. All right, so we have the... Is this the Undercity portal? That looks like Undercity, no? What am I seeing? This looks like Undercity buildings. Find it funny when I Dreadlord pose as Khadgar and think he's an old man because he looks like one. That could actually be another explanation, right? Someone tell if Khadgar is... Wait, someone tell Khadgar it was an abandoned Drusk raid and he'll never want to go. Alright, what am I seeing here? Wait, how's the dynamic weather feeling for people these days? Because obviously I haven't played WoW with dynamic weather. I've heard sort of mixed. No one hates it, but there are people who go, I don't even notice it. Who gives a shit? But for those of you that is still playing World of Warcraft, what's the dynamic weather like? I'm assuming it must make the game feel a hell of a lot more alive, you know? Preach cry again this morning? I did not hear about that, but I'm not... Like, Preach is crying so much during Shadowlands now. Final Fantasy. I haven't noticed any dynamic weather. Apparently there's dynamic weather in... World of Warcraft. No, it can sort of start raining or be sunshine or shit like that. I think it's in the main cities that they've added that. I think so. No. Obviously, Shadowlands. Why would Shadowlands zones have weather? There's no climate. There's like no reason to be climate in those zones, so you wouldn't see it there. It would be on Azeroth. It'd be very weird if there was rainfall in the Shadowlands. For what purpose? So far, this is okay. You know, I'm not going to say that it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. These leaks still don't really get me excited. Well, it's not leaks, it's data mines, but we'll check back tomorrow. Usually they data mine the unimportant bits first, and then we get the really good bits a few hours in. So we can always check back tomorrow and see like how the leaks are playing out now. You've never seen Cloud Up and shit in the Shadowlands? I don't think I have. It seems kind of weird that they added this at a time when most of the players are in Shadowlands, where there is no weather. Well, Grammy, if it's ready, right, you release it, and because it's going to be important for the future of the game. It's actually one of the things I wish Blizzard would start doing more often. Like, stop with the bullshit of keeping everything for patches. If something cool is ready and it's ready to be launched right now, launch it. Let people play it already. Don't do this whole thing where you have a cool thing planned, but you can't release the cool thing yet because it's not patch 9.8 or whatever, right? Yeah, smaller patches with more content more frequently would, in my mind, be a hell of a lot better than these large fucking patches that just fall flat. New quest until Drasil, data mined. We'll check out, so what we'll do, guys, is we'll check out all of the data mines tomorrow when we can get a full list of data mines and don't have to sort of... Because at this point, the way these data mines are going, I'm gonna have like 500 fucking videos covering the data mines bits and pieces. Because that's ultimately what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to cover the data mines, then new data mines come out, then we cover that, then new data mines come out, then we cover that. And before I know it, I have like 20 videos that have to be released because all the data mines is sort of broken up in packets. So it's going to be better if we do it tomorrow for stream. That way we can sort of focus on the data mines. And hopefully most of the data mines will be available then, especially the lore ones, which is the only ones I'm really excited for. The only ones I'm really interested in, going to be honest, is the lore ones. Any sort of implication of lore is usually what I would say would be my favorite. Kind of tired. At year 0, Khadgar was approximately 17. So now year 34, Khadgar should be about 50 by now. Yeah, that makes sense. Looks like we are leaving Shadowlands to fight stuff outside of Silver Moon, so we will experience the weather stuff there. It would be nice if they could actually just bring us back to the old world a little, you know? That would actually be kind of nice. I would not mind it one bit if we could go back to Azeroth. For the last bit of the expansion, you know? We're on the last leg. May as well take people back to the world that they remember and the world that they sort of love. So yeah, I'd be 100% on board with that. I would think that's a good idea. And I think I can speak for almost everyone when I say that most people would like to return to a massive fucking cosmic game. Most people miss the old days of just Azeroth. Blasphemous, thanks for the doing something. Really appreciate it. 8 months in a row. You guys have been far too kind today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blasphemous, how you doing, brother? Endwalker emotionally destroys people. We'll have to wait and see. I'm nowhere near Endwalker yet, so we'll have to wait and see. The portals to Shadowlands 2, it doesn't make sense that we can go back there after the skybox healed. I think they are going to. I think the portals will... well, actually, the portals will never disappear because, obviously, it's gameplay related. Lord Chaos.
From one South African to another.
Bro, thanks for the 300 bits. Really appreciate that. I know how fucking expensive that is in South Africa. So I really do appreciate the 300 bits. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But I've seen you last stream. I don't know, Classics. We reacted to a few videos today. But one of the videos took many hours. Like 2.5 hours. So I'm pretty sure I haven't. We'll react to videos every single day this week to kind of get caught up on all the videos that I haven't reacted to yet. So that we can get to new videos sooner. First thing we did was open death gates for back and forth travel. The way they healed the shattered sky really annoyed me. At least make it look cool and unshattered, not just close up like a portal. What do you expect? What was the video called? Oh, Lord Chaos, yes. Yes. Having a generator is really awesome. I am definitely enjoying the fact that I have a generator. But alright, guys, since it is 12 a.m., is there anyone that you want me to host or raid? Or am I just gonna end? You know what? No one that I follow is online right now. So... Just waiting for the Dragon Leagues. We'll see if it's a Dragon expansion. I do not think it's going to be one. Yeah, but Pyro has 7.3k viewers. I'm not going to raid Pyro. If you don't, like, if I had 3.5 or 4,000 viewers, that would have been a different story. But that's just so blatantly trying to steal viewers. That's just unacceptable. He'd probably be annoyed as well if I did raid him. He'd most likely be annoyed as well. You don't raid bigger streamers like that. But you guys can go watch Pyro. I love Pyro streams. So you can absolutely go watch Pyro if you want to. I'm going to go grab some food. Guys, I'm fucking hungry. I haven't eaten in 24 hours now. So it is time for me to go eat something. I don't know if I'm going to cook something or if I'm just going to go buy something. I haven't decided yet. It's so fucking late, it might just be easier to go buy something if there's even food to buy. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to each and every one of you for hanging out, for spending your evening, your afternoon, or your morning with me. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to have you here. I will see all of you back here tomorrow, same time, same place as always. Tomorrow is going to be just chatting straight into Final Fantasy XIV. For those of you that is interested in the Stormblood shenanigans continuing, we're going to be continuing that tomorrow evening, my time. Yours will be, well, around the time the stream starts anyways. So yeah, as always, ladies and gentlemen, be kind to each other, be good to each other, and I will see all of you in the next one. Peace out, fam.